I know you've had a long day, and you may still feel it lingering in your body. Maybe it's sitting in your shoulders, tight and braced. Maybe it's behind your eyes, that quiet pressure that comes from thinking too much, caring too much, trying to keep everything steady. Tonight, you don't have to solve anything. You don't have to replay every conversation or carry every responsibility into this night. For a little while, you can set the whole day down. Take a deep breath in, slowly, gently, and let it fill you without rushing. Hold it for a soft beat, and then let it out. Another breath in, and as you exhale, allow your jaw to loosen. Let your tongue rest. Let your forehead smooth out, little by little. If your hands are clenched, notice that and release them. Let your fingers uncurl. Let your shoulders drop a fraction. You are safe here. You are allowed to be quiet. You are allowed to rest. Now, bring your attention to the weight of your body. Feel the support beneath you, the bed, the pillow, the blanket. Let the surface under you do its work. You don't need to hold yourself up. Let gravity be kind to you. If your legs feel tense, let them sink. If your chest feels tight, simply notice it and invite it to soften with each breath. If your mind keeps darting to tomorrow, that's okay. You don't have to fight your thoughts. You can guide them gently, like guiding a small child back to bed. Tonight, we're making room for something simple and steady. Courage. Not the kind that pretends nothing hurts. Not the kind that shouts, or proves, or pushes, but quiet courage. The kind that can exist alongside trembling. The kind that can sit in the dark and still whisper, "I am not alone." The kind of courage that doesn't come from forcing yourself to feel strong, but from remembering you are being carried by a strength greater than your own. If you need courage tonight, you're not strange for that. You're human. There are nights when the future feels too wide, too unknown, when responsibilities line up in your mind like waves, one after another. There are nights when your heart remembers old pain, and your body reacts as if it might happen again. There are nights when you wonder how you will face what's coming, or how you will keep going when you already feel spent. If this is one of those nights, you are not failing. You are simply weary, and you are allowed to be. So start with a small act of honesty. Silently name what you're facing. You don't have to say it out loud. Just acknowledge it in the quiet of your mind. Is it a conversation you dread? A decision you've been postponing? A health concern? A work pressure? A family burden? A lonely season? Whatever it is, hold it gently, not tightly. You don't need to grip it. Just notice it, and then place it, as if in open hands, before God. Not as a performance, not as a speech, just as a simple offering. Here it is, Lord. And as you place it there, let your breathing stay slow, in and out, like a steady tide. With each exhale, release a little more effort. With each inhale, receive a little more peace. You might picture the worries of the day as loose papers scattered across a table, and with every breath, you're calmly gathering them into a neat stack, not to work on them tonight, but to set them aside until morning. They can wait. Your soul needs rest right now. Sometimes, courage is misunderstood. We imagine it has to feel bold, confident, certain. But the kind of courage that helps you sleep is quieter. It's a courage that says, even if I don't know the next step, I can rest. It's a courage that says, even if I feel small, I am not abandoned. It's a courage that doesn't demand answers at midnight. It allows the unknown to remain unknown while still trusting that you will not walk into it alone. So we won't rush tonight. We won't force anything. We will let courage arrive the way dawn arrives, gradually, softly, almost without you noticing at first. And the first way we invite that courage is by letting your body relax. Because when your body settles, your spirit often finds room to breathe. Gently scan your body from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. If you notice tension in your scalp, soften it. If your eyes are tight, let them rest, heavy and warm. If your neck is stiff, imagine warmth there, like a gentle hand easing the strain. Let your shoulders drop again. Let your chest widen a little on the inhale, and soften on the exhale. Let your stomach unclench. Let your hips sink. Let your knees relax. Let your feet go loose. There is nowhere you need to go right now. Nothing you need to fix right now. And while you rest, consider this. Courage can be borrowed. You don't have to manufacture it. You can receive it. You can lean into it. You can let God be the one who stands near when your heart feels unsteady. You can let His presence be closer than your fear. If your mind starts to argue, if it says, "But what if? What if? What if?" you can answer gently, "Maybe, but not tonight." Not as denial, but as rest. Tonight is not for solving. Tonight is for settling. The problems will still be there tomorrow, but you will meet them with more strength if you sleep now. So you are allowed to set down the sword of anxious thinking. You are allowed to come under a covering of peace. In a moment, we'll move toward words of Scripture that have carried weary hearts for generations. Words that speak to fear without shaming it, and offer courage without demanding perfection. For now, just stay here in the quiet. Feel the stillness around you. Feel the steadiness under you. And as you breathe, you might whisper in your heart a simple request. God, give me courage. Not dramatic, not complicated, just honest. God, give me courage. Help me rest. Help me remember that I am not alone. Take one more slow breath in and let it out. And as you exhale, imagine yourself stepping into a calm, sheltered place, like a warm light in the distance, welcoming you. You are moving toward rest now, toward safety, toward the quiet courage that does not strain, but simply trusts. And as you settle there, in that calm, sheltered place, let your breathing remain slow and gentle. You're not hurrying toward anything. You're simply being led, step by step, into a steadier peace. There is a kind of courage that comes when you realize you don't have to face life by yourself. Not in your own strength, not with your own wisdom alone. Courage grows when you remember there is someone who goes before you, someone who stays beside you, someone who does not step away when the night feels long. Tonight, let your heart hear that again. Deuteronomy 31 is spoken into a moment of change, a moment when people are standing at the edge of what they do not yet know. Their leader is preparing to depart. A new chapter is about to begin. And with that kind of change, fear naturally rises. Questions rise. Will we be okay? What if we fail? What if we're not strong enough? What if God doesn't stay close? And it is into that exact human trembling that God speaks steady words. You don't have to imagine this as a distant scene. You can let it be very close to you, because you also know what it feels like to stand at the edge of something unknown. You also know what it feels like to lie in bed and feel tomorrow waiting. You also know what it feels like to wish you had more strength than you do. So tonight, we don't read these words like a history lesson. We receive them like a warm blanket, like a hand resting gently on your shoulder, like a voice that knows your fear and answers it with kindness. Let your mind picture it simply. God is near. God is not far away. God is not distracted. God is not asking you to prove yourself. He is near, and He speaks. And when you feel ready, just let these phrases begin to settle in your heart. The message is not, "You will never be afraid." The message is not, "You must feel confident." The message is much softer, much steadier. God is with you. If your fear has been telling you, "You're alone in this," let that be the first lie to loosen its grip. You are not alone. Not in your room. Not in your thoughts. Not in the future. Not in the unknown. Sometimes we think courage means we must harden ourselves. But Scripture often shows courage as something you can receive, because God shares His presence. And that presence is not just a comforting idea. It becomes a grounding truth you can return to whenever your thoughts drift toward panic. So, let's practice that gently. As you breathe in, you might think the words, "God is with me." And as you breathe out, "I am not alone." In, "God is with me." Out, I am not alone. Let that rhythm slow your mind. Maybe your mind says, but I don't feel him. And that's okay. Feelings can be loud, feelings can be confusing, but God's nearness is not measured by the intensity of your emotions. Sometimes his presence is like the steady earth under your feet, quiet, constant, not always noticed, but holding you all the same. Deuteronomy 31 carries this repeated assurance that God goes before, that he will be with, that he will not fail, that he will not forsake. Think about that phrase for a moment, not fail thee. So many of us carry fear because we've been failed before. People have promised and disappeared. People have meant well and still hurt us. Circumstances have turned suddenly. Plans have collapsed. The world can feel unreliable. And when your heart has learned disappointment, it naturally grows cautious. It naturally braces itself. It naturally tries to prepare for the worst, because it thinks, if I worry enough, maybe I won't be surprised. But God's promise is different. He does not speak like a fragile human promise. He speaks with steadfastness. Not fail thee. Not in the middle. Not at the end. Not when you're tired. Not when you're unsure. Not when you're afraid. And then that other phrase, nor forsake thee. To be forsaken is to be left, to be abandoned, to be alone in the hardest moment. Many fears have this root. What if I'm left on my own? What if no one helps? What if I fall apart and no one stays? Deuteronomy 31 answers that fear directly. God will not forsake. So tonight, you can let your nervous system hear a different story. Not the story of abandonment, not the story of being left to figure it all out. A new story. You are accompanied. You are watched over. You are not walking into tomorrow without God. Now, let's make that personal. Very personal. If you're facing something tomorrow that scares you, picture God already there. Not waiting at the finish line only. Not only present after you succeed, but already there. In the meeting, in the doctor's office, in the conversation, in the commute, in the hallway, in the moment you wake up. Already there. And picture him not as harsh, not as demanding, but as steady, fatherly, close. A presence that does not rush you, a presence that does not shame your fear, a presence that says, I will go with thee. Let that sentence, with thee, rest in your chest. With you, in the ordinary, in the unknown, in the hard, in the quiet moments no one sees. With you. This is what gives courage its foundation. Not your performance, not your ability to predict outcomes, not your strength to control everything. Courage is built on companionship, divine companionship. So, if you find yourself thinking, I don't know if I can do this, you can answer softly, maybe not alone, but with God. And even that small shift can begin to calm the body, because fear often tightens when it feels isolated. But when you remember you are not alone, something loosens. Your shoulders drop a little. Your breath deepens. Your heart slows. Now, let your attention return to your body again, just briefly. Notice any place that is still holding tension. The neck, the jaw, the stomach, the hands. And as you exhale, imagine God's presence gently softening those places, like warm light melting ice. In, God is with me. Out, he will not forsake me. In, God goes before me. Out, I can rest tonight. You don't have to force the words. Just let them float through you, like a calm song. And as you rest, allow this truth to become the background of your mind. God is near. God is steady. God is faithful. We are moving toward courage, yes, but not the kind that strains, the kind that rests, the kind that can lay down in the dark and trust the one who does not leave. And as that truth settles, God is with you. God goes before you. God will not forsake you. Notice how your body responds when it hears something steady. Your shoulders may soften again. Your breathing may deepen. Your thoughts may slow. Just a little. Let that be enough for now. You're not trying to force peace. You're simply allowing it. Because courage, real courage, is often misunderstood. So many of us learned a version of courage that feels like pressure. Like you must be fearless. Like you must be confident. Like you must prove you can handle it. And if you don't feel strong, you think you're failing. If you tremble, you think you're weak. If you need help, you think you're behind. But tonight, let's lay that heavy definition down. The courage God offers is not a performance. It's not a mask you put on for other people. It's not a clenched jaw and a forced smile. It's something gentler, something truer. It's courage that can exist alongside a racing heart. Courage that can live in the same room as your fear and still choose trust. So if you feel afraid tonight, it doesn't mean you have no courage. It may simply mean you're human and you're awake to what matters. Fear often appears when something is precious. Your family, your health, your future, your purpose, your relationships. Fear does not always mean you're faithless. Sometimes it means you care deeply and you don't know what comes next. And God does not scold you for that. He doesn't say, "How dare you feel afraid?" He doesn't say, "Come back when you're stronger." He speaks as a father, steady, close, compassionate. He speaks courage not as a whip, but as a shelter. So tonight, we're going to reframe courage as resting trust. Resting trust is not dramatic. It's quiet. It's the simple decision to stop wrestling at midnight. It's the choice to let God hold what you cannot control. It's the willingness to say, "I don't know what will happen, but I am not alone." It's the soft surrender of your tight grip. And surrender can feel scary at first, because control can feel like safety. Even when control exhausts you, it can feel familiar. Your mind may say, "If I keep thinking, I'll be ready." But thinking is not always preparation. Sometimes it's just strain. So courage tonight may look like allowing your mind to unclench. Let your thoughts slow down. If your brain tries to sprint, gently guide it back. Like this: not tonight, not right now. The future can wait until morning. Your body needs rest. Your spirit needs calm. And you can practice courage in very small ways. Here is one gentle way. Right now, loosen what is tight. Notice your jaw. If it's clamped, soften it. Notice your tongue. Let it rest. Notice your shoulders. Let them drop. Notice your hands. Open them, even slightly. Notice your belly. Let it be soft, not braced. Sometimes the body learns fear as a habit. It holds itself like it's always about to be hit by bad news. And courage can begin with teaching your body a different posture. Open, supported, safe. As you breathe in, imagine receiving strength that is not yours to manufacture. As you breathe out, imagine releasing the need to be in control. In, receive. Out, release. That's courage. Now, maybe you're thinking, but what if something truly hard is coming? And that's a real question. There are moments in life that are not easy. There are seasons that require endurance. And God does not deny that. Deuteronomy 31 doesn't pretend there are no battles, no wilderness stretches, no unknowns. Instead, it places something stronger than the unknown into your hands: God's presence. Courage is not the promise that things will be simple. Courage is the promise that God will be with you in the complexity. So you don't have to force yourself to feel fine. You don't have to pretend the fear isn't there. You can acknowledge it honestly, and then choose trust gently. Try speaking to your fear like you would speak to a child who had a nightmare. You wouldn't say, "Stop it, get over it." You would say, "I'm here, you're safe, let's breathe." So you can say to your own heart, "I'm here, God is here, we're safe in this moment, let's breathe." And if tears come, that's okay. Tears are not a failure. They are a release. They are the body letting go. You don't have to analyze them. Just let them fall, if they need to. Let God meet you there, without judgment. Because sometimes the deepest courage is allowing yourself to be comforted. Not everyone learns that. Many of us learn to survive by self-reliance. We learn to keep moving, keep producing, keep smiling, keep holding everything together. We learn to become our own rescue. And that might have helped you get through certain seasons. But tonight, you don't have to be your own rescue. Tonight, you can rest in the idea that God is a refuge, a shelter, a steady companion, one who does not ask you to earn his closeness. So courage can be as simple as letting yourself lean. Lean into the pillow. Lean into the quiet. Lean into God's promise. And if your thoughts return again and again to the same worry, that's okay. You're not doing it wrong. Minds repeat things when they're anxious. So when the worry returns, you don't have to fight it harshly. You can respond with a gentle phrase, a small anchor, a soft truth. Something like, God is with me. He will not forsake me. I can rest tonight. Say it in your heart, slowly, like you're rocking your own soul back to sleep. God is with me. He will not forsake me. I can rest tonight. Notice how those words do not demand anything from you. They don't say, be stronger. They don't say, try harder. They simply remind you of what is already true. And that's what makes this courage different. It doesn't depend on your mood. It depends on God's faithfulness. So if you're lying here feeling small, tired, uncertain good, this is the perfect place to receive courage. Because the courage of God is not only for the brave, it is for the weary, it is for the trembling, it is for the ones who whisper, help me. Let that be your prayer tonight, if you need one. Help me, Lord. Help me rest. Help me trust. Help me be carried. And then, without rushing, let your breathing slow again, in and out, as if your body is learning a new language, the language of safety. In, receive. Out, release. Courage can be this gentle. Courage can be this quiet. Courage can be resting your head down and saying, I will face tomorrow, but tonight I will sleep. Let those gentle breaths continue. Slow, unhurried. And now, we'll let the words themselves come close. Not rushed, not hurried past, just slowly received, like warm light in a quiet room. Listen softly, and if it helps, let the words settle in you the way rain settles into dry ground. Be strong, and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Deuteronomy 31:6, KJV. Let that rest there for a moment. Be strong, and of a good courage. Not a loud courage, not a hurried courage. A good courage, a steady courage. A courage that does not have to prove itself. Fear not, nor be afraid. And if your mind immediately says, but I am afraid, just breathe. This is not a scolding. This is an invitation. God is guiding your heart toward safety. So you can receive these words gently, without pressure. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. With thee, not far ahead where you can't reach him, not behind you, absent. With thee, with you, here. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Now, let's sit with that again, slowly, like a calm repetition you can return to whenever fear rises in the dark. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. You may want to whisper it in your heart. He will not fail me, nor forsake me. And as you breathe out, let your shoulders soften again. Now listen again, as if you're hearing it for the first time, as if God is speaking directly into the part of you that feels uncertain. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not because you figured everything out, not because you have every answer, but because of this. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. So in this moment, courage is not something you manufacture. Courage is remembering who walks with you. Now, let the next words come in, just as slowly. And the Lord, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Deuteronomy 31:8, KJV. The Lord, He it is that doth go before thee, before you, ahead of your tomorrow, ahead of the conversation, ahead of the unknown. He will be with thee, with you in the moment it happens, with you in the minutes before, with you in the breath you take when you wake. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And if you felt dismayed, like the ground is unsteady, like your thoughts are spinning, let these words be a handrail, something solid to hold. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Not because life is always easy, but because God is steady. Now, take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, let that phrase repeat gently in you. He will be with thee. He will be with me. And again, a little softer. He will not fail thee. He will not fail me. And again, neither forsake thee. Neither forsake me. Now, let's hear another portion, and let it settle like a quiet promise spoken over you. And Moses called unto Joshua, and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong, and of a good courage, for thou must go with this people unto the land which the Lord hath sworn unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. Deuteronomy 31:7, KJV. There is something tender here, because Joshua is stepping into something he didn't create, something bigger than his own strength, and the words spoken to him are the same words your heart may need. Be strong, and of a good courage. And maybe tonight, you're stepping into something you didn't choose, a burden you didn't ask for, a responsibility you didn't want, a change you can't control. So let these words meet you there. Be strong, and of a good courage. And now, listen again, as if God is speaking courage directly into you, personally. And the Lord said unto Moses, Be strong, and of a good courage. Deuteronomy 31:23, KJV. Just that. Again, be strong, and of a good courage, and breathe. You might notice, the words return again and again, not because God is impatient, but because He is kind. Like a father repeating what a child needs to hear until it finally settles. So we will repeat them too, slowly, kindly. Be strong, and of a good courage. And we will repeat the reason too, because the reason is where the peace lives. For the Lord thy God, He it is that doth go with thee. And again, He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Now, if your mind is still reaching forward, trying to predict, trying to prepare, bring it back to these phrases. Let them be enough for tonight. God goes with me. God goes before me. He will be with me. He will not fail me. He will not forsake me. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Let those words become like slow footsteps in your mind, steady, even, calm. And if you'd like, you can pair them with your breathing. In, God goes with me. Out, I am not alone. In, He goes before me. Out, I can rest. In, He will not fail me. Out, I release my fear. In, He will not forsake me. Out, I am safe tonight. Now, just rest in the quiet for a moment. No striving, no proving, only receiving. Let the words sink down beneath your thoughts, beneath the noise, into the deeper place where courage becomes quiet and steady. And if you drift in and out as you listen, that's okay. You don't have to hold every line tightly. These promises can hold you, even as you fall asleep. Be strong, and of a good courage. Fear not, neither be dismayed. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Let that be the gentle refrain of your night. And now, with those words still softly echoing, He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Let your mind turn toward what often steals courage at night, the unknown. The night has a way of magnifying tomorrow. In the daylight, you can distract yourself. You can work. You can move. You can answer messages and handle tasks. But at night, the world becomes quieter, and the mind starts to play its what-if game. What if I can't handle it? What if it goes wrong? What if I lose something I love? What if I disappoint someone? What if I fall apart? What if I'm not enough? If those thoughts come to you, you are not unusual. You are not broken. This is simply how the human mind tries to protect itself by imagining every possible outcome. But imagining is not the same as preparing, and the what-if game has no finish line. It will keep going until you are exhausted. So tonight, we will not chase the what-ifs. We will meet them with something steadier. We will meet them with held hands. Not metaphorically only, though that is true too, but with the sense that you are not walking into the unknown with empty hands. God's promise is not just words. It is companionship. It is presence. It is with thee. So when the unknown tries to loom, you can respond with this gentle truth. God is already there, and you can practice this one fear at a time. If a fear rises, don't wrestle it. Don't shame it. Just name it softly, and then place it into God's care. For example, what if tomorrow goes badly? Breathe in, slowly. Breathe out, gently. And then answer with Deuteronomy 31. The Lord, He it is that doth go before thee. God goes before me. And if another fear rises, what if I'm alone in it? Breathe and answer. He will be with thee. He will be with me. And if another fear rises, what if I fail? Breathe and answer. He will not fail thee. He will not fail me. And if the fear is deeper, what if I'm left? Breathe and answer. Neither forsake thee. He will not forsake me. This is not magic. This is not pretending. This is training your heart to return to truth. It's letting the promise become your anchor when your thoughts try to drift into the storm. Now, let's imagine tomorrow gently, not harshly, not as a threat, but as a place where God is already present. Picture yourself waking up, not rushed, not panicked, just waking and taking one slow breath. And in that first breath, you can remember, God is with me. Picture yourself sitting up, placing your feet on the floor. And instead of immediately thinking about everything you have to do, you can whisper, even silently, God goes before me. Picture yourself stepping into whatever awaits. It might be ordinary, it might be challenging, it might be uncertain, but you are not stepping into it alone. Now, some unknowns are bigger than a single day. Some unknowns are seasons. Some are decisions you can't avoid. Some are grief, or change, or healing, or waiting. So let's speak to those too, with gentleness. If you are waiting for news, you can rest tonight, because you don't have to carry tomorrow's news into night's body. You can't control what comes, but you can choose to rest now. And God will still be God when you wake. If you are facing a decision, you can rest tonight, because clarity often comes better after sleep. You can place the decision into God's hands for a few hours. You do not have to solve it in the dark. If you are carrying someone else's burden, a child, a spouse, a parent, a friend, you can rest tonight, because you were never meant to be the savior. You can love them, yes. You can show up, yes. But God is the one who goes before. God is the one who holds what you cannot. If you are afraid of your own weakness, afraid that you might crumble, you can rest tonight, because courage does not begin with your strength. It begins with God's presence. Now, if your mind tries to object, but what if the worst happens? Hear this gently. Even then, you will not be alone. Even then, you will not be forsaken. Even then, God will not fail you. You may not know the shape of tomorrow, but you can know the steadiness of the one who walks with you. That is why Deuteronomy 31 is such a comfort. It doesn't promise a life without hardship. It promises presence in hardship. So tonight, the goal is not to conquer every fear. The goal is to let your fears rest, because they are not the ones in charge. Let's practice a simple release. Imagine each fear as a small stone in your hands. You've been holding them all day, and your hands are tired. One by one, you can let them drop into God's care. The fear of tomorrow, the fear of failure, The fear of loss. The fear of being misunderstood. The fear of not being enough. Let them go. Not because they don't matter, but because they are too heavy for you to hold alone. As you release them, feel your hands relax. Feel your fingers soften. If you want, actually open your hands on the bed, palms up, as a physical sign of surrender. This is a quiet act of courage. And then, in the open space where fear used to sit, let the promise settle. The Lord, He it is that doth go before thee. He goes before me. He will be with thee. He is with me. He will not fail thee. He will not fail me, neither forsake thee. He will not forsake me. And then the last part, so gentle, so kind. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Not because you have to force fear away, but because you have been reminded you are held. Now, breathe slowly again. Let your eyelids be heavy. Let your thoughts become fewer. If a what if rises again, answer it with a promise, and then return to quiet. What if God goes before me? What if He will be with me? And slowly, you may feel your mind begin to settle into the softness of being accompanied. You don't have to know everything tonight. You don't have to fix everything tonight. You can rest in the held hands of God. And as the fears soften, as the what-ifs lose some of their sharpness, we come to something very gentle, very freeing, the release of control. So much of fear is tied to the need to manage outcomes, to predict, to prepare, to make sure nothing goes wrong. And while planning has its place, carrying everything on your shoulders through the night does not give you more control, it only gives you more weight. Tonight, you are allowed to set that weight down. Deuteronomy 31 doesn't ask you to map the whole journey. It doesn't ask you to understand every step. Instead, it offers a simpler path. Trust God one step at a time. This is important because many anxious thoughts jump far ahead. They rush weeks, months, years into the future. They ask questions that cannot be answered yet. And when you try to answer them anyway, your mind becomes exhausted. But God's guidance often comes differently. Not all at once, not years ahead, but step by step. So courage tonight may look like releasing the need to see the whole road and allowing God to guide the next small step. Let's practice that idea gently. Imagine your future as a long path disappearing into the distance. If you try to see the whole thing at once, it feels overwhelming. Too many twists, too many shadows, too many unknowns. Now imagine instead that the path is only lit one step at a time, just enough light for the next movement forward, and in that light stands God already ahead of you, steady and calm. The Lord, He it is that doth go before thee, before you, not asking you to lead, not asking you to figure everything out, going before you. So tonight, you don't need a 10-year plan. You don't need all the answers. You don't even need tomorrow fully figured out. You only need enough trust to rest now and take the next step when morning comes. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. Because surrendering control is not giving up, it's giving over. It's placing what you cannot manage into hands that are capable and kind. Now, control often feels like safety. Letting go can feel frightening at first. So don't force it. Don't rush it. Let it be gradual. Start with something small. Perhaps there is one decision you keep replaying, one problem you keep circling, one conversation you keep rehearsing. Tonight, you can say, God, I give this to you for now. Not forever, not dramatically, just for the night. You can even imagine placing it into His hands, like handing over a heavy package. And notice how your body responds when you no longer have to hold it. Often, the shoulders relax, the breath deepens, the jaw unclenches. That's your body recognizing relief. Now, if your mind says, but what if I forget? What if I lose control? Remember this. God does not forget. God does not lose control. And nothing slips through His fingers while you sleep. You are not irresponsible for resting. You are not careless for sleeping. You are not weak for trusting. In fact, choosing rest is an act of courage, because rest says, I trust God enough to stop striving. Rest says, I believe God will still be God without my constant vigilance. Rest says, I am finite, and that is okay. So let's practice a slow surrender, one breath at a time. As you breathe in, you might think, God, you go before me. As you breathe out, I release what I cannot control. In, God, you go before me. Out, I release what I cannot control. Again, in, you will be with me. Out, I don't have to carry everything. Now, surrender does not mean passivity. It does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what was never meant to live in your nervous system overnight. God's guidance often works best when we are rested, when we are calm, when we are not frantic. So tonight, you are preparing yourself not by worrying, but by resting. If you are facing a choice, trust that clarity can come later. If you are waiting for change, trust that God's timing is not rushed. If you are afraid of making a mistake, trust that God can guide even imperfect steps. Because courage is not about never stumbling. Courage is about trusting that God walks with you, even if you stumble. And here is something tender to remember. God's presence does not depend on your perfect obedience. He does not abandon you when you get tired. He does not step away when you feel confused. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. That promise holds, even when you are unsure. So tonight, let go of the pressure to be flawless. Let go of the pressure to be strong all the time. Let go of the pressure to know what comes next. You are allowed to be a human being who rests. And if it helps, you can imagine God standing guard through the night, watching while you sleep, holding what you have released, preparing the way ahead. You don't need to watch the horizon all night. You don't need to stay alert. You don't need to brace for impact. You can rest. And when fear tries to pull you back into control, when it whispers, don't let go, something might go wrong, you can answer gently, God goes before me. He will be with me. He will not fail me. He will not forsake me. These words become your permission to rest. Now, allow your breathing to slow even more. If your thoughts drift, that's okay. You don't need to follow them. Let them pass like clouds. Your job tonight is very simple. Breathe, rest, trust. Everything else can wait. And as your body settles deeper into the bed, as your mind grows quieter, remember this truth quietly holding you. You are not responsible for holding the universe together. God is. You are not walking alone. God goes before you. You are not forgotten. God will not forsake you. And with that gentle surrender, you can let sleep come when it comes, naturally, peacefully, without effort. And if sleep has not yet come, that's okay. There is no hurry. Sometimes the mind needs repetition. Sometimes the heart needs to hear the promise again and again until it finally believes it is safe. So we will create a gentle loop tonight, an easy path back to peace whenever fear returns. Because fear often returns. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because the mind has habits. It circles familiar worries. It checks the door again. It looks down the hallway of tomorrow again. It wonders again. And when that happens, you don't have to fight fear with harshness. You don't have to argue with it for an hour. You can simply return to the promise. The way you return to your pillow. The way you return to your breath. Deuteronomy 31 gives you phrases that can become nighttime anchors. They are simple, they are sturdy, they do not require effort, they only require remembering. So when fear returns, you can return to. Return to the Lord, He it is that doth go with thee. Return to, He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Return to, fear not, neither be dismayed. These are not just words to read, they are words to live in. Words to breathe, words to rest inside. So, let's practice this loop gently, as if we are teaching your heart a new rhythm. First, notice your breath. In, and out, slow and soft. Now, notice if there is any fear present. It might be obvious or subtle. It might be a tight feeling in your chest, a churn in your stomach, a restless energy in your legs, a thought that keeps returning. Whatever it is, don't judge it, just notice. And then, instead of spiraling, choose one anchor phrase. Here is the first anchor. God goes with me. You might whisper it silently. God goes with me. And as you say it, feel the weight of those words. God goes with me. Not only with the strongest version of you, not only with the confident version of you, with you as you are right now, with you in the dark, with you in the quiet, with you in the trembling. Now the second anchor. He will not fail me. He will not fail me. And if your mind tries to argue, if it says, but what if? Answer softly, he will not fail me. Not as a debate, as a lullaby. Now the third anchor. He will not forsake me. He will not forsake me. Let that settle especially deep, because so many fears are rooted in abandonment. But God's promise is steadiness. He stays. He remains. He does not leave you alone with your fear. Now the fourth anchor. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And again, if you feel fear, you can receive this not as a command, but as comfort. Like God saying, you can set that down now. I am here. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Now, this loop can be as simple as returning to one phrase each time you notice fear. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to repeat every line. Just choose one and let it become your gentle return. For example, if you wake in the night and your heart is racing, you can breathe slowly and say, He will be with me. If you feel a wave of anxiety about tomorrow, you can breathe and say, The Lord, He it is that doth go before me. If you feel ashamed or overwhelmed, you can breathe and say, He will not forsake me. This is how Scripture becomes practical at night. It becomes a path, a returning place, a soft home for your mind. Now, let's deepen this loop with a simple pattern. Notice, name, return. Notice what is happening in your body. Name it gently. Fear, worry, pressure, uncertainty. Return to the promise. Notice, name, return. You might try it now. Notice, maybe tension in your chest. Name, this is fear. Return, God is with me. Notice, perhaps a restless thought. Name, this is worry. Return, He goes before me. Notice, perhaps a sense of loneliness. Name, this is heaviness. Return, He will not forsake me. And each time you return, your nervous system learns something. I have a place to go. I am not trapped in the spiral. I can come back to safety. That is courage. And the loop itself is gentle courage. Because instead of letting fear drive you, you let truth guide you back. Now, if you find yourself repeating the promise many times, don't be embarrassed. Don't think, I should be past this. Repetition is not failure. It's how we learn. A child learns safety through repeated comfort. A heart learns trust through repeated truth. A weary mind learns rest through repeated anchors. So let it be repeated. Let it be simple. Let it be kind. Now, listen again to the promise, and let it become your loop for the rest of the night. The Lord, He it is that doth go with thee. He goes with me. He will not fail thee. He will not fail me. Neither forsake thee. He will not forsake me. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Fear not, neither be dismayed. If you want, you can slow it even further. He goes with me. He will not fail me. He will not forsake me. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And each time you say it, imagine the words like gentle waves washing over the shore of your mind. Not crashing, not loud, just steady. Now, your thoughts may still wander. That's normal. When you notice wandering, simply return again. No frustration, no scolding, just return. Return to your breath. Return to the promise. Return to the sense of being held. And if sleep comes while you're returning, wonderful. If it takes time, still okay. The goal is not to win. The goal is to rest. Let the promise do its quiet work. Let the night be gentle. Let your heart be comforted. And when fear returns, as it sometimes does, you already know what to do. Notice, name, return. God goes with me. He will not fail me. He will not forsake me. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And as you continue that gentle returning, notice how the night feels when you stop wrestling, when you stop trying to conquer every thought, when you stop demanding certainty from yourself. Something quiet begins to grow, something steady, something simple, a willingness to trust. And tonight, we can let that trust take a tender shape, quiet obedience, not as pressure, not as perfection, but as peaceful acceptance. Sometimes the word obedience can feel heavy. It can sound like demands, like rule books, like fear of getting it wrong. But in a calm, fatherly sense, obedience can simply mean this: choosing to follow God's lead, one small step at a time, because you trust His heart. And that kind of trust can be restful, because it means you are not alone in figuring everything out. It means you are not the final authority over your life. It means you can stop being your own judge and rescuer. It means you can take the next right step when it's time, without carrying the entire future in your chest. Deuteronomy 31 is filled with this steady direction. Be strong, be courageous, do not fear, because God goes with you. God goes before you. God will not fail you. God will not forsake you. So your part, in response, can be very simple: to trust, to follow, to rest, not striving, not forcing, not proving, just a quiet yes. And that yes can be as small as the next breath. So if it helps, tonight you can offer God a gentle yes. Lord, I will trust you. Lord, I will follow you. Lord, I will rest. No drama, no speeches, just a quiet surrender. Now, quiet obedience also means letting go of self-blame. Because when we are afraid, we often turn on ourselves. We replay mistakes. We judge our weakness. We speak harshly in our own minds. We assume that if we were better, we wouldn't be struggling like this. But God's tone in Deuteronomy 31 is not harsh. It is steady and kind. It is strength offered, not demanded. It is presence promised, not withheld. So you can let your inner voice soften tonight. If you catch yourself thinking, I should be stronger, you can answer softly, God is with me. If you catch yourself thinking, I'm failing, you can answer, He will not fail me. If you catch yourself thinking, I'm alone, you can answer, He will not forsake me. This is the heart of quiet obedience. Letting God's truth correct your harshness and choosing to agree with Him instead of with fear. And agreeing with God can be very simple. It can sound like, yes, Lord. Yes, I trust you. Yes, I will take the next step. Now, we don't have to imagine the next step as something huge. Quiet obedience is often small. Sometimes it's making that phone call. Sometimes it's setting a boundary. Sometimes it's apologizing. Sometimes it's showing up. Sometimes it's resting. Sometimes it's asking for help. And tonight, you don't have to decide all of that. You only need to give God your willingness. Lord, I'm willing. Lord, lead me. Lord, be with me. That's enough. Now, notice something else. Obedience can also mean releasing what is not yours to carry, because fear often makes you take responsibility for things you cannot control, other people's choices, other people's feelings, outcomes you can't predict. Quiet obedience says, God, I will do what you ask of me, and I will leave the rest with you. That's courage. So if you've been carrying guilt for things you couldn't fix, you can set it down. If you've been carrying shame for being tired, you can set it down. If you've been carrying responsibility for someone else's happiness, you can set it down. God does not ask you to carry what He never gave you. and He does not shame you for being human. So tonight, the obedience is gentle. Rest, trust, release. Now, imagine your life again as that path, but instead of staring down the whole road, you only look at the next small stone beneath your feet. And on that stone is a simple word: follow. Not hurried, not forced, just follow. And as you follow, God goes before. The Lord, He it is that doth go before thee. So you are not leading in darkness, you are following in light. Now, if you feel resistance in your heart, if you feel tired of trying, tired of hoping, tired of waiting, be gentle with yourself. God is gentle too. He knows your limits. You can say, Lord, I'm tired. Lord, help me. Lord, carry me. That prayer itself is quiet obedience, because it is turning toward God instead of away. It is asking instead of isolating. It is trusting enough to admit need. And that kind of honesty is precious. Now, let's bring this into the present moment, into your bed, into the quiet. Quiet obedience tonight might look like allowing sleep to come. Sometimes we resist sleep because it feels like losing control. But sleep is a gift God built into your body. It is a daily reminder that you are not made to run endlessly. You are made to receive. So tonight, you can receive. You can stop striving. You can stop thinking. You can stop proving. You can let your eyelids grow heavier. You can let your breathing slow. You can let your mind drift. And as you drift, you can trust that God remains awake. God remains steady. God remains with you. He will be with thee, even while you sleep. So take a slow breath in and whisper a quiet yes. Yes, Lord, I trust you. Yes, Lord, lead me. Yes, Lord, I will rest. And as you exhale, let your body sink deeper into the bed. Now, if thoughts arise, you can return to your anchors again, but with an added gentleness. You don't have to be perfect at trusting. You only have to be willing. God does not demand flawless faith. He invites you into relationship, into dependence, into rest. So let this be your simple agreement tonight. God goes before me. God is with me. He will not fail me. He will not forsake me. And because that is true, I can rest. Quiet obedience, quiet courage, quiet peace. And now, let everything become a little quieter. You've returned again and again to the promise. And even if your mind has wandered, you've gently come back. That is enough. You've done enough for tonight. Let your body rest heavier now. Let the muscles in your face soften. Let your eyelids feel warm and low. If you can, allow your breathing to become slower than before, like a calm tide that doesn't hurry to the shore. In and out. And as you settle, remember what has been steady beneath every fear tonight. The Lord, He it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. You don't have to hold those words tightly. You can let them hold you. If you're still feeling a little alert, that's okay. Sometimes the body needs time to believe it's safe. So we'll simply stay gentle. No forcing, no striving, just comfort. Picture yourself under God's care like a child under a warm blanket. The worries of the day may still exist, but they are outside the room now. They are not allowed to climb onto the bed with you. Tonight belongs to rest. And if tomorrow is big, if tomorrow is uncertain, if tomorrow feels heavy, you can still sleep tonight, because God is already in tomorrow. He goes before you. He will be with you. He will not fail you. He will not forsake you. So you can let your heart stop scanning the horizon. You can stop checking for danger. You can stop rehearsing. You can let your mind unclench. Just breathe and let go. If there is one last thought you keep returning to, you can place it gently into God's hands again. Imagine opening your palms, even now. Let it be a simple gesture of trust. God, this is yours. God, I release it. God, carry it for me. And then return to the promise, like returning to a familiar home. He goes with me. He goes before me. He will be with me. He will not fail me. He will not forsake me. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Let those phrases become softer with each repetition, like your voice is fading into a whisper inside your chest. You don't have to say them loudly. You don't have to say them perfectly. They can be faint, they can be slow, they can be half-formed as you drift. The promise remains steady, even when you are sleepy. Now notice the space between your thoughts. Let that space grow. Let the silence be gentle, not empty. The silence is simply room for peace. In that quiet, courage becomes something very small and very real. The courage to rest, the courage to stop trying, the courage to let tomorrow wait, the courage to trust God in the dark. If you feel like you've been carrying everything alone for a long time, let tonight be different. Let tonight be the night you are carried. Not because you've earned it, not because you've been perfect, but because God is faithful. So as you lie here, you might imagine God's presence close, steady, calm, watchful. Not intense, not pressuring, just near, as if He is keeping watch while you sleep. As if He is saying, you can close your eyes. I am still here. And if sleep comes now, let it come naturally. If you drift, drift. If you fade, fade. If you wake again later, you already know the path back, your breath and the promise. But for now, allow yourself to sink. Let the bed hold you. Let the pillow cradle you. Let your shoulders be heavy. Let your hands be loose. Let your breathing be slow. And with each exhale, imagine you're releasing one last layer of tension. Out, release. Out, release. Out, release. Now, I want to speak the heart of Deuteronomy 31 over you one more time, slowly, gently, like a blessing that can cover you through the night. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, neither be dismayed, for the Lord thy God, He it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. And now, you don't have to do anything with those words. You can simply rest beneath them, like resting beneath a quiet night sky. If your thoughts are slowing, let them slow. If your body is loosening, let it loosen. If your heart is softening, let it soften. You are safe in this moment. You are not alone, and you are allowed to sleep. Now we'll move into a short, whispered prayer, not rushed, not heavy, just gentle and full of peace. Father in heaven, thank you for being near tonight. Thank you for the quiet way you meet us, not with pressure, but with presence. You see the one listening right now. You know what they've carried. You know what they fear. You know what tomorrow holds. Lord, we place this night into your hands. We place every worry into your care. Every what if, every unfinished task, every heavy conversation, every unknown, we give it to you. Your word says you go before us, and you will be with us. Your word says you will not fail us, nor forsake us. So tonight, we choose to rest under that promise. God, bring peace to their mind. Let their breathing slow. Let their shoulders soften. Let their heart feel safe. If fear rises in the night, gently remind them, you are here. If they wake with a racing thought, give them the calm to return to your words. Protect this home. Protect this room. Protect this body as it sleeps. Place your shelter over them, like a warm covering. Guard them from distressing dreams. Guard them from sudden trevojnia thoughts. And let the night be gentle. And Lord, if tomorrow is hard, go before them. If tomorrow is uncertain, be with them. If tomorrow feels too big, carry them step by step. We trust you, not because we are strong, but because you are faithful. Thank you for staying close. Thank you for holding what we cannot hold. In Jesus' name, Amen. Now, breathe in slowly and let it out. Let the prayer fade into quiet. Let your thoughts fade into stillness. Let your body drift into sleep, covered, protected, and not alone.